But now that they've actually said that this is not coming out in 2025, I believe that that's the smartest thing that they could have done. And it offers a lot of excellent reasons why this was the best move. Got another question here from Drew Yari.
Okay.
Mr. Yari says, what are your thoughts on the Blade movie being removed from the 2025 release schedule, and where do you see the character being used in the MCU at this point? All right, that's a great question. I want to talk about that. Glad you brought it up. A few more people asked me about that. And first of all, it's no surprise to anybody that this movie got pulled. If you see the timeline on the production of this movie, it is pure production hell. This thing was so mixed up, and I can't believe, and it's everywhere. This is Dateline talking about it. They even saying what comes as no surprise to anyone, Marvel Studios' Blade won't be coming out November 7th of 2025. Rather, Disney is opening 20th Century Fox Studios' Predator Badlands. So this is going to be a reboot from the excellent, took me years to recognize this as a great movie, but this is a reboot from the very excellent Blade movie that featured Wesley Snipes, who for everybody they say, look, I don't care how much you reboot Blade. Wesley Snipes is always gonna be my Blade. I don't care who you put up in there. But one. You know, people are saying, good. I'm glad you ain't doing it. I hope it never gets back on the docket, because that means that I'll just have my Blade right here. And I'm fine with that. I have my Wesley Snipes Blade. That's all I need right there. But this is a weird thing, man. I'm not even go through it, but y'all know the production hell that this was going through. This was going to star Mahershala Ali as the new Blade, which I loved as actor. So I was happy about that. But what I thought was crazy is that I was arguing with people, not one person, people who were talking about, oh yeah, no, that's still coming out in 2025. Oh no, they're gonna get it done. People, we in pretty much in November of 2024. You think they're gonna get this goddamn movie done in time to get the script done? To build sets and go to locations, to film the movie, to edit the movie, to put marketing out there, to put a trailer together and put it all out there in the theaters and on the internet. You think they're gonna do all that and get that out by 2025? You see a real vampire before you see that movie out in 2025. My response was, what took you so goddamn long to report that? You knew you weren't gonna put it out in 2025. Everybody knew that. Well, except for the people I was arguing with. But I look at this and I think that this is, like I said, we knew it was going to happen, but this could be a great thing that this is happening. And the reason why I say this is for several reasons. I mean, let's just go through this. So I'm gonna get how you feel about this, Mr. Kumbia King, but if you ask me, with my knowledge of how this whole thing has gone, they've changed directors. They can't settle on a script. Mahershala Ali himself has not been satisfied with how the character is being portrayed or how his presence in the film as that character. You know, this is it's a mess. It's a complete mess. And it worried me more that they were still trying to stick with this current production process. But now that they've actually said that this is not coming out in 2025, I believe that that's the smartest thing that they could have done. And it offers a lot of excellent reasons why this was the best move. And for one, the main thing that makes this a very excellent move is because starting over with this production here, to start it from scratch, throw everything, get a big dustbin, throw that shit in the trash and put it in the dumpster, and let's just start from scratch. And if you do that, starting over that way, you could probably be starting over at a better time for Marvel. You know, let's go ahead and be honest, y'all. Marvel has been in a slump, and this is, for most of us, this is not because we're haters. This is not because we want Marvel to fail. This is not because, Marvel's been on top so long, we want to see them become the villain. Nothing like that. It's just Marvel, if the numbers speak for themselves. Marvel has been in a slump. They've had these flops out there, one after another. Marvel's being one of their biggest right here, which didn't come out too long ago. They've had their troubles with casting and controversy. We all know about Jonathan Majors as Kang. Them having to remove him just threw everything off with this whole multiverse timeline thing right here. He was positioned to be the next Thanos, and well, you know how that went. Basically, at this point, even when they did have someone like Jonathan Majors in as Kang, and he was positioned to be the big villain, rest of that shit was a complete mess. Marvel has, and I'm not gonna go through my whole spiel again, but as I've said, Marvel has no direction. I don't care how much they say they got a plan. I don't care how many of those titles they put up on the screen at Comic-Con. Most of those titles have fallen off now. Most of those ain't even happening. They have no sense of direction. We still don't know what's going on. We still don't know where we're going. Shit, we still on Google Maps trying to figure out where Marvel is going and heading to. Right now, they say they're in a restructure. And, with Blade, that could be a great thing for them to pick up Blade after that restructure is happening. Because let's not forget, when Blade was introduced, not only was in the middle of when Marvel was starting to feel like, okay, y'all don't know what we're really doing. It was at that point where we were saying, I don't think that this is going anyplace. But keep in mind that Blade was also introduced in one of their biggest flops.
Sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitman?
He was introduced in voice only, but that was Mahershala Ali's voice as Blade. That movie was a flop. The threads were starting to rip apart with this whole path that Marvel was supposedly going on. When Marvel is in a better place, we can fit Blade, hopefully, into a better timeline and into a better arc of stories. I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't mind if Marvel just scrapped everything and just rebooted their whole universe. Somebody in the chat said if they pulled a James Gunn and just brought somebody in to just kind of head up things, I probably wouldn't be too bad with that either. But whatever they're doing, I don't think for a character as beloved as Blade, I would hate to see Blade be rebooted, or they start production, or they start putting Blade into this whatever is going on right now, because it's just slop. The other thing that they could do, if they're going to start over, they could recast younger. Now, I'm not that person that's saying, listen, if anyone's not ageist, it's me. I'm 53 years old, so I'm not going to be ageist at all. And especially against this man, Mahershala Ali is younger than me. He's 50 years old. I don't believe he's too old to play this character. I believe that he could probably play this character for years if he wanted to. I mean, today we see older people being in healthier shape. We saw Wesley Snipes in Deadpool. This man is 60 years old, I think. Maybe older than 60. And he looks great. I believe at 70 years old, Wesley Snipes could beat most people's asses out there. I think he'll still be in pretty good shape. But the thing is, it's still a commitment. You still are signing up for several movies over time. Physically, that could wear you down. And let's just face it, when you're older, it's even if you're fit, it could be a little more of a strain. But also, Mahershala Ali is a guy that, we've seen this with a lot of people, so I can't really pin him down this way. But I just see him as a man who loves to do all kinds of different projects. I don't know if at 50 years old, he'd like to be tied down to playing a damn vampire, comic book vampire, and having to turn down projects because he has to commit his time to that. You know, again, I think he could do it. I'm just thinking career-wise. You know, yeah, it'll be a great check, a lot of money, some security right there. But, you know, 50 is up there to get committed to a franchise and a commitment like that. Now, the counter argument is that Samuel Jackson has done it. But, you know, Samuel Jackson isn't out there as much as Thor or, or Captain America, or those other characters, you know.
Even in some of his more recent stunts, you're like, okay, he's clearly just there for a little bit, and because they're gonna kill this man.
You don't see Samuel Jackson running down the street chasing people down. Samuel Jackson will hide behind a car, peep over, bang bang, do that a little bit, or he'll sit in an office somewhere and tell the Avengers what to do. He ain't out there running the streets trying to run people down and tackle them. He ain't got no superpowers that he's got to do. You know, yeah, man. You know, but Samuel Jackson's doing it. But I think his role requires less of a physical commitment. But again, I don't even think it's about the physicality. It's just, you know, that commitment is a commitment. And if you go younger, you'll get somebody who's also not only physically fit to do it, but no, this can make their career. You know, this man already got a career. Mm-hmm. The other thing is they can just take their time now. Sometimes you got to scrap everything and just put some new eyes on it to actually do it properly again. You know, they were scrambling and rushing and really rushing, man. You know, everybody's trying to rush and get this thing done. That's why a script was sucking probably. That's why people were frustrated. You know, the more that they actually sat around and tried to get this thing going, the more that they had to really push themselves to meet certain deadlines and schedules, I would imagine. So now everybody can just scrap all this, take a breather, and start over and do it right. So I believe that this is a great decision right here. I've been saying that they should do this for the longest time. Just stop. Stop and get all y'all shit together before y'all even get Blade up in there. I mean, we still got to get Howard the Duck up in there, you know. Yeah. Somebody said I thought he was in his 50s. Who was that? Samuel Jackson? Hey, man, Samuel Jackson still he's still a I don't want to say spry because that's insulting to Opie.
He looks great.
He looks great. He looks great for his age. I think he's 70 something, 70 years old. He looks amazing. Yeah, I don't want them to take another 10 years to get Blade out there either, you know. But the way they're going, that's why I say, man, at this point, take y'all's time. That's why I love Blade. That Wesley Snipes 1998 Blade.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that character intro is iconic.
Well, that's one of the first, if not the first, big rated R Marvel movie that was out there. It's one of the movies that people still don't give enough credit to for kicking off the whole comic book movie surge, especially with Marvel. Hey everyone, excuse me for interrupting the conversation in the show. I know you're enjoying it, but we do have to give a word out to our sponsor right now, which is BetterHelp. And let's talk about therapy real quick. You know, when people think about therapy, they think about serious issues such as depression or harmful thoughts. And if you're having those, you should definitely seek out therapy or someone to talk to. But did you also know that therapy can be used for helping out with your relationship, giving you more confidence, or just simply helping you organize your mind so you can just organize your life, achieve some of those life goals? And one of the best things about therapy right now is that it's available online. And one of the best places to start with online therapy is, yeah, that's right, you guessed it, BetterHelp. Why? Because, well, being that BetterHelp is entirely online, that means that it's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire and you'll get matched with the licensed therapist of your choice. And hey, if that therapist isn't working out, no problem, no hassle. You can change at any time with no additional charges. And I got something else right here that's going to put your mind very much at ease. And you know where it is. That's right. I got a bargain for you. I got a code for you. Here's what you do. You put in betterhelp.com/doubletoasted and you'll get 10% off your first month. I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the show. And I want to thank all of you out there who put me very much at ease with all your support. You, the Toasties out there. And now back to the the show. I'm just like y'all. In my mind, Blade will always be Wesley Snipes. In my heart. But we got to move on to the next one. And I'm telling you, as much as I love Wesley Snipes, I'm going to be that guy that's going to say a very unpopular opinion. I'm not sure about, because everybody said, man, just get Wesley Snipes back. Get Wesley back, man. Get him back. He was good in Deadpool 3. Get him back. He can do it. Let's just pick it up from where it left off. Y'all don't want that. This man is 60-something years old. Do y'all really want Wesley Snipes pushing 70? Playing the damn daywalking vampire hunter? You know what I mean? I don't think he wants that. I would love Wesley Snipes, but I can't go with that decision to reboot him with it. Now, if he wants to train a younger Blade or something, I don't know. Okay.
Sure.
But nah, man. In my heart, yes. In my heart, my mind, my ass, I want him to play I want him to be Blade forever. If we could just lock him in time and have him play Blade and nothing else but Blade for the rest of our lives, I would love that. But that's not a possibility.
I love your whole thing of like, if I could stop him from aging.
If I had Marvel powers, I would stop him. I would be a villain. Because I would stop him from aging and I would make this is going to sound racist. I would make a slave out of his ass. And he would be nothing but Blade for the rest of his life. Jesus. I'm sorry I said it. He'd be a vampire slave for me. And he would be nothing but that. But of course, that's not going to happen. Respect this man, love him, but he can't be pushing 70 years old playing Blade. That's just not, that ain't practical, and that ain't fair to him. Y'all gonna kill this man trying to have him play Blade for the rest of his life. But I'm happy about this news. They should have done this a long time ago. There were signs that this thing was a mess early on. And everybody kind of knew this was off the rails and it was not going to go anywhere. I was more afraid that they would keep trying to make it happen. Nah, man, Marvel has a lot to do. They got bigger problems than Blade. But Blade being brought into this mess is one of them. Get everything straight, figure out where you're going, get a clear direction of what this new phase will be, and then we can start talking about rebooting things and bringing these characters in like Blade. So anyway, that's what I think. I'm happy. It made me very happy. I don't know why anybody's sad about this. What do you think?
Oh no, I'm relieved actually, just because every time I heard about this movie, it was just an article about production issues or people weren't happy with the script or they couldn't have a director agree to the vision, and you just kind of like, holy shit, this is not going to be good if it gets made when it's set out to be made. And I'm sort of relieved that it's kind of being shelved, and it kind of feels like Marvel's maybe like, we should go back to letting shit be sincerely cool as opposed to doing that like, oh, we're going to throw in a joke every 2 minutes and undercut shit. And I have a lot of issues with Marvel humor.
Let me see here. Nah, man. Y'all know me. I love Marvel, man. Marvel, again, they did something that no one ever thought that they could pull off, and no one can take that away from them. But it was so good, and it was something that was so monumental that even Marvel can't repeat it at this point. And I'm not saying that they never will be able to do it, but
Yeah. I just feel like Marvel's been struggling to find a direction lately, especially, okay, I know people love Robert Downey Jr. I kind of saw him coming in as Doctor Doom as a little bit of desperation on Marvel's part.
Yeah, I still don't get that. I'm not crazy about that.
I'm not excited about it. To me, I'm like, well, that's kind of lame, actually.
And I'm really scared what they're going to do with Spider-Man at some point, but that's another talk for another day. Yeah, they did something so magical, something so amazing, something so miraculous that even now they can't even pull that off again. But that's not to say they can't ever. But I was trying, and I had a link to like the timeline for Blade. Let me see here, timeline Blade development. It's so
bad. They're like, listen, it's gone, dude. Well,
it's so bad the internet don't even want to talk about it. Look at this. Blade's development hell timeline fully explained. We ain't talking about that shit. Even the computer don't want to talk about it.
Listen, it's garbage. Whatever.
Yeah, y'all know it's trash. There you go. No, listen. Somebody said, and that's a great point. You make an excellent point. Somebody said you forgot about Deadpool making $1 billion. No, I did not. Don't think that I forgot about that. I mean, how can you? Let me see here. No, man. So no one can deny that Deadpool and Wolverine did incredible business for Marvel.
Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider.
The movie did amazing business, yes. The movie was loved by people and was very good, yes. But that's a single movie. This is not a Deadpool and Wolverine is not an indicator of where Marvel's going. Not story-wise. It's probably an indicator where they're going to go business-wise. They're probably going to experiment with more mature stuff, rated R films. They'll probably try edgier things. They'll probably experiment just a little bit more. But that's not an indicator of where they're going in the long run. It's not in the in the huge arc, the long in the foreseeable future of where all their movies are going to go and connect like they did with the Avengers phase, or the phase leading up to the Avengers. Yeah, so that's that. I'm not trying to take away from this movie at all, disrespect it, but it's not an indicator of where Marvel, the universe itself, will go. This is one movie, and it's self-contained, and it's not really telling you where any of these movies are going to go later. But that's it's still a fun film. Nothing, like I said, not to take away from it at all. But yeah, that's the only thing that it really indicates is that yes, you will get something like a rated R Blade now, where years ago you wouldn't even imagine Disney and Marvel doing rated R stuff.
Yeah. Except
over on Netflix, but not under the Disney title.
And not connected, but sort of connected. That was a whole fucking
bullshit. Yeah. It's all connected. Maybe, kinda, maybe not. We don't know. So I don't know. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. You gave your thoughts on that. We're kind of in agreement on that. So there you go, folks. Forgot to remind y'all, I kind of alluded to it, but I'm going to New York so I can test out the room that I'll be doing my comedy show in December 13th to be more exact. And that's going to be at the Broadway Comedy Club. And I'm going there to test out the big room. They finally put me in the big room. Oz will be joining me there. Show's at 10:45 p.m. We're trying to fill the room up, so please get your tickets for the show by going to doubletoastedny.com or go to broadwaycomedyclub.com. Well, you made it to the end of the video. That must mean you really like what we do. So if you do, check out these other videos just like this one. Check out our other YouTube channels and subscribe to join our wonderful Toasty community. And as always, stay toasty.